Anything is possible in regards to the Euro Championship. Um, Everybody's going to be a contender. I think it's about equal as far as strength goes. I mean, every team uh, is going to have talent. I know they're going to say whatever, you get lucky, whatever, just get lucky and hope for the best. But it does make a difference as far as mentality goes. And you see it with Italy and Germany and France and Spain and the Germany. And then you see it with England, whereas they fall short. But the script is already in. I mean, um, Ronaldo avenged his Euro loss to win the Euro. Italy after the COVID deaths won in 2021. I mean, France didn't get their trophy right after the Paris bombings, but after the Paris bombings, they did win the World Cup after the Paris bombings. Argentina did win the World Cup after Diego Maradona's death. So no matter what happens, the script is always in and it's set into motion. So France did win the World Cup right after the Paris bombings. Argentina after the death of Maradona. We're looking at Brazil after the death of Pele, the emergence of Endrick after Neymar's injury. This is what we're looking at right here. For Copa America, for example, Messi never needed Spain to achieve the back-to-back-to-back, the Continental World Cup and Continental. He can achieve all of that by himself with Argentina. And in this Euro, when I look at an event such as Italia winning right after COVID, right after the deaths to the Italians at Lombardy, at Bergamo, England after the death of the Queen, wouldn't that be fitting? Kind of like France, they don't win the first tournament after the Paris bombings, but they did win the first World Cup after the Paris bombings. For England, it would be the first European Championship right after the Queen's death. If we do see the 96 months or the 96 weeks after the Queen's death, that we see the Euro finals. So I think it is connected to the Queen and her descent. She's a partial descendant. She's a partial German descendant. She had to change her name to Windsor or something. She died at Scotland in Germany. They're hosting the tournament. They began against Scotland. I think there's something to do with Scotland and the Queen's death. I think. And I'm overall, I just Germany should make the final. I mean, a lot of things line up with Germany to play a home final. I mean, to set up a narrative. Is the home team able to get over their jinx of losing the final, or is Germany going to win another trophy 10 years later, and what could be a last match for Tony Kroos? So even if England don't win the Euro, I think a very strong play would be for Germany to make it to the final. That way, it's a net winning for the Euro. Germany make the final if, and the thing about Germany is that they'll be on the easy side of the bracket. But who do they want to face off between Italia and Spain? The answer is not Italia because they typically struggle against Italia in knockout competitions. The only time they beat Italia, they had to go all the way to penalties. So even in the only time that Germany defeated Italia, they had to struggle and go through penalties to defeat Italy in 2016 Euros. They never beat Italia in regulation. So I think that they would I think they would prefer, based on past history, to face off against Spain rather than Italia. I will be live for Spain and Italia, and I'm looking forward to it. Um, I think a lot of numbers line up for Italia to defeat Spain. I mean, a 23rd win, the Euro against Spain, and Spain's come out to 23. I certainly think Spalletti has done more than Mr. De La Fuente. No disrespect to De La Fuente. I don't know how good Spain are going to be if they're all Barcelona players, if we take away the Real Madrid from them. Because Barcelona are kind of soft a little bit as far as defense goes. So I think there's some problems there. Maybe Croatia not as good as they're advertised. The thing about France is that they seem to be automatic in the World Cup recently, but it was not automatic to win to go far in the Euro because they lost in the round of 16 to Switzerland. So with France, based on losing against Switzerland in the round of 16, is that anything could happen to France if they lost to Switzerland in the round of 16 the last time around. So they had a little shocker. I don't think it's automatic. And the thing about Portugal, and even if Gareth Southgate is just not a killer, he's not ruthless in his demeanor and his mentality to make the players meaner on the pitch because the attitude can carry on to the players. When you look at Van Gaal in the Netherlands, and you look at uh, the badass maestros Argentina are. You really have to be a big badass motherfucker to win on the pitch. So England a little bit too nice, I think, is the problem. Are they able to play with more of a bad streak a little bit? I think they did very passive against Italia in 2021. Italia had the vast majority of the shots against England. A team with they didn't have Bellingham, but they still had Foden and what that. I think Germany gonna be on the easier side of the bracket. They're gonna have no problems with Portugal. Roberto Martinez is a serial underachiever. Nagelsmann Bayern struggled without Nagelsmann. I'm looking at Portugal. If they want to stage Finalissima in America, Ronaldo's going to be arrested if he goes to America because he has a rape case in Las Vegas. So Ronaldo's going to get arrested. He can never come to America again. Ronaldo is going to be arrested. So it can't be him. Not going to be Pinaldo. I think we're missing Argentina and England. If Argentina go 3-0 in the Finalissima, England is Gematria 30. That's what I really like about England winning the Euro. But the thing about England winning the thing about the Euro is that no team out there has no weakness. Every team has a weakness. Portugal's weakness is that people are worried about Pinaldo's ego. They're trying to feed him the ball. The thing about Germany and Italia, they're not looking for glory, individual glory. They're looking to win the trophy for the collective, for the team. That's where Pinaldo, that's what Portugal are at risk of. And I got news. If Roberto Martinez couldn't cut it with De Bruyne, with Hazard, with Witzel, with Courtois, with Mertens, Batshuayi, if he couldn't cut it with those Belgian players, what makes you think he's going to do it for Portugal? It's not going to happen. Simply not going to happen. His past history is not good. If he can't win with the Belgian golden generation, it's just not going to happen. He failed big time. Lukaku too, another great player on the Belgium golden generation. Germany, they're a little bit weaker. And they've kind of struggled in the past year. So are they consistent? That's a big problem. Spain, softer in defense. Italia, they're not the chances. France, they keep opponents in the game, I think, with Deschamps' pragmatic style. Although pragmatic style does win World Cups. I think France can kill off games, but I think they are just too pragmatic for their own good sometimes. I think there's no problem being pragmatic depending on the feel of a particular match. if chances are not coming, whatever, you don't want to make a mistake. But I think France are capable of killing off some particular opponents. So that is a weakness I look at for France. The Netherlands scoring, but they have great defending. England, the biggest thing is mentality. You can have all the talent in the world, but you got to be a killer out there. You have to be a killer. They did well versus France in the World Cup, but they fell short. They fell short. But they didn't play terrible against France. They had opportunities to change the match in that quarterfinal at Qatar. You see, ego. That's why Portugal can't win. Ego is going to collapse that team. Everybody's saying Portugal, but they're overrated. People are just saying Ronaldo's carried a small country, Portugal. That is not happening. Portugal, they were saying, would win the World Cup, would win the Euro. Now Portugal is a favorite. They did, from when I hear about Portugal making the final, it's like you're talking about Portugal like they're a top 5 talented team in the world. So it's not like they have zero talent being carried by Ronaldo. It's a talented machine, but that's not enough to win the Euro. They need a proven manager. That is where it failed for Portugal. They could have gotten a much better manager than what was out there on the market. They could have hired Jose Mourinho. I know we can't see Ronaldo Messi because Ronaldo, he's going to be arrested. He goes to America. It's not me saying Ronaldo gets arrested. It's the Las Vegas case. There's a warrant out for his arrest. He cannot step foot on America. Then again, England have gone far with Southgate, so it's not, oh, England. I understand that without a home pitch, without Wembley, you're going to have to go through actual neutral sites to win the Euro. But then they went into neutral sites to make it to the semifinal. And Colombia is not a scrub team in 2018. Colombia have had some good players like Cuadrado and Hamas, James Rodriguez, and a couple other guys. So Colombia are not scrub away like Ukraine, for example. Let's see. In the round of 16 World Cup, I'm just forgetting who England had in the round of 16. I don't know why I'm forgetting who England played in the round of 16 in the World Cup. Okay, yeah, they beat Senegal in the World Cup. My point is you're not going to get Senegal. They may go through some harder teams this time around, but they had opportunities against Croatia with the Harry Kane. He didn't pass it to Sterling, plays here and there, particularly by Harry Kane. Harry Kane is the guy that was coming up short in those matches. Harry Kane in the missed penalties. Spain, they're not going to have a chance to win the Euro. They're overrated. They're overrated every tournament. This is not 2010, 2012 anymore. Spain are overrated. Spain have got knocked out by Italy in the last 2 Euros. Spain, those were great teams. Spain are now just an ordinary team outside of that golden generation. They only won 1 Euro title in the 1980s, if I'm not mistaken. So Spain, outside of that 4-year window from 2008 to 2012, they haven't really won trophies beyond outside of 2008 and 2012. But when I look at Harry Kane, that first trophy internationally, that's what stands out. Is if he wins that first trophy internationally, it means more if he wins the trophy, the first trophy internationally. I mean, well, people are gonna be like, oh, whatever. He won the Bundesliga, Bayern win every year, blah blah blah. But if you have his first trophy be the Euro Championship, then that would be legendary. That would be storybook. Harry Kane narrative, storybook. Tony Kroos narrative, storybook. Those are the storybook narratives out there that we're looking at right now. France, they it's probably not written for them to win something until Zidane is the manager. Things it's just France are peaking and they need to go to a new direction. The pundits, it's like if France win a trophy, it's like whatever Deschamps is doing, it's working. You don't kick Deschamps out. But if France falls short and they lose in the World Cup, then it's like, okay, you need a reboot, you need a reset. And Zidane would satisfy the reboot reset angle. Rebooting and resetting and making adjustments from too much pragmatism to a France that could be a little bit more balanced. So that's what I looked at as far as Zinedine Zidane goes. That's my problem with France this time around. But clearly, if the other teams are a little bit weaker, I think, compared to previous years, that may just help England. Portugal are overrated with Cristiano Ronaldo. Don't worry about getting that guy the ball. He's not entitled to goals. He's not entitled to score. The only thing that you're entitled to is to find the open guy and score. They're not entitled to give Ronaldo the ball because he's Ronaldo. If you have other playmakers to get better shots, that's what you do. That is the collective style of, let's say, Germany and Italia. Is Pinado going to grow up and just be about the team? Or is he going to continue to be the crying, whining, petulant man-child that he is? Oh, I'm not getting the ball. I'm not scoring. You see, that ego, that it's equal in Roberto Martinez. That's the problem with Portugal. These are the two favorites to win the Euro. Anything literally can happen, such as Portugal and France failing to win the Euro. France, if they do lose earlier than the semifinals, Mbappe will have more time to recover for the Olympics because Messi is Olympic gold. I think Mbappe would also like to be an Olympic gold medalist. So if France get eliminated in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals, Mbappe is simply going to get ready for an Olympic gold medal. So that's what would happen if France falls short of the Euro. So I'm looking at three strong plays, I feel, for the Euro and Copa America competitions. I feel great about Argentina beating Uruguay. Harry Kane to win Golden Boot. England to win the Euro, and simply Germany to make the final. It's overall net winning for the football tournaments. I feel if that happens. Remember, house always wins. Portugal, the ego, the Ronaldo Messi psyop, that's over. That's over. No more Ronaldo Messi. It's over. It's over. He's gone off to Saudi Arabia. It's over. He can't step foot on America. He's gonna get arrested. Another team will head over to America. Mbappe, he just may need that extra time to recover and get ready for the Olympics and win that gold medal at home at the city of Paris. Mbappe, that last trophy in the city of Paris. Mbappe. Get ready for it. In about a week to a week and a half is when the fun really begins.